There's something that we've been discussing recently, which we've called the peptide paradigm shift, and how it changes everything once people understand it. Without giving away the whole thing, could you give us a hint of what that shift is and why it matters?
Well, I remember discussing the peptide paradigm shift with you, Dan, and there's a lot of subtopics and moving parts in that as well. So,
Yeah.
if you have the diagram that we made, is there a specific subtopic that you wanted me to cover there, or are you thinking more in broad and in general, or
I'm thinking a bit more broad in the way of, I know you probably won't like this, Brenden, but distilling it down or simplifying it down. Because in my mind, I think one of the big paradigm shifts, and there probably is a lot. We're calling it the paradigm shift, but there's a lot of, like you mentioned, subtopics, and I think they have their own paradigm shifts, almost like micro paradigm shifts with them. But
they do? Yes.
I think a big one that you could touch on is just how peptides really are like a language. Like they are, it's almost like it's like your biology's way, or one of the ways that your biology will communicate, right? And I think that that is such a profound insight. And even the fact that a lot of peptides are just in living things already. That's something a lot of people don't know either. Like they think a peptide is a drug that you buy and it comes in a vial, right? But peptides are already inside you. Peptides are already in all these living things, right? And it's, I think, knowing just how ubiquitous, like everywhere, peptides are, and just what they're actually used for and why they're so deeply profound, because they operate at such deep levels. That was a big
Yeah, I
aha
mean,
moment for me. Yeah.
yeah, like I said, there are many peptides throughout our body right now in each of our tissues, but also in our bloodstream. Like we have tens of thousands of peptides and proteins flowing through us at this moment right now. So it is huge to think about. And it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. Some of the peptides within us may be the Khavinson's peptides, right? These are peptides which are unique to different tissues and stuff. But there are some peptides which have also just been discovered in the blood directly. And a good example of that is GHK copper. It was discovered by Dr. Pickard and right in the blood serum. And there are just so many peptides present in all living things that exist. Like if you give certain peptides to plants, they can help the plants grow. And a good example of that is in some studies they were giving, I believe it was epitalin, which is a Khavinson's peptide, and maybe some other one as well, to these tobacco plants. And it was increasing the yields of tobacco. It was making them grow faster and more effectively. So it's a communication signal that works with like all living things. And of course, we don't know if we can, for instance, take peptides from a different species in regards to, like, say, a reptile or something, and have those be universally applicable to like mammals like us. We don't know that because we haven't studied that for, but we at least know that like our body can accept peptides that come from other mammals, such as pigs, cattle, and
Yep.
such like that.
Yep.
So yeah, they are basically nature's signaling molecules. And
That's
yeah,
huge.
they are everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. I think just that one line
But
alone
even
I
in
found
plants,
incredible. Yeah.
yeah, even in plants, I mean, they produce their own types of peptides as well. And these are probably distinct from the ones that like we produce. But there was
Mm.
one company that did an AI analysis of all the different peptides that they could find in a specific species of plant. And they were analyzing all of those different peptides to find which ones in particular may be most effective for a certain outcome goal. And then they were classifying them as such. And once you find those, you can essentially reproduce the peptide which is exerting the effect that you want most effectively in the lab and recreate it synthetically. And that's sort of exactly what Professor Vladimir Khavinson did with his cytogens. These are single peptides which were found to be most effective for a certain goal, and they were isolated from the complexes. So
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, to me, that idea that peptides are like nature's signaling molecule, that was a profound like insight, a profound aha moment. And I know that's not the only mental shift and mental insight that will come from. I know you that you've got a talk, a presentation which we labeled as the peptide paradigm shift, like the incredible truth that like no one ever told you, or whatever we titled it. But that was a big one for me, and that's one that I hope that people can take away from this. So